What'd you look after watching film of the Gold Blue game? Can you get anything out of that?
Not very much.
Mm-hmm.
You start to you show them what you want to do, and then you have to break it down. And we're at the point where it's not put back together yet. So there's some things that we're doing okay, and there's a lot of things that we're not doing okay. And we've got a lot of young guys, different guys. So we didn't. That's for the fans. That's for the fans, and that's for these guys to go out and play like something a little more fun.
Mm-hmm.
Pick fifth. Thoughts on that?
The what?
Pick fifth.
I don't know. I honestly never paid much attention to that. We've been picked 10th a couple times by a couple of.
Not the coaches, though.
No, but they were basketball scribes. I mean, those are guys that they've got their thumb right on the cutting edge, of what goes on in college basketball. So, yeah. So we've been picked 10th. So, 10th, 5th. Doesn't matter till the end.
One's your number.
Yes, sir. Always has been.
Oscar, obviously the preseason player of the year. Are you a little concerned that maybe people are expecting too much from him? He's going to come in here flying in with a cape and do Superman stuff?
Well, I think the important thing is he's never thought that, and we've never thought that. So, no, I mean, Oscar is a very level-headed kid, and I think, if anything, it's made him hungrier to be better because he knows he's behind in a lot of areas. His footwork's not very good, but I mean that's a guy who's really only played a couple years of basketball here, and so he's got a lot to learn. But the great thing about him is he wants to learn. He wants to get better. He's being coached by us. He's being coached by his teammates. And, a lot of guys coming in, particularly guys with a big rep like he has, would say, hey, man, I got it. He doesn't. He listens and listens to our older guys. So he's been great.
Talk about him fundamentally. You've had other foreign kids come in. Is he ahead, behind, Sags, Dennis, people like that?
Well, I think the expectations for him on the outside were a lot more than Sags. We had Elijah and we had Brandon and we had those other guys. And I think, particularly with last season, I think everybody expects him to come in and be the savior. And fortunately, he doesn't. I mean, he just wants to get better. He loves playing basketball. He has fun playing basketball, and that's a good thing.
You had him in Cincinnati, preseason players of the year, but we haven't had many of them here in West Virginia.
Well, he's not preseason player of the year, preseason freshman of the year. Yeah, I mean, I had preseason freshman of the year and preseason players of the year, and I've had preseason national players of the year. But it doesn't count till the season's over with. You don't go get that Wooden Award, or you don't go get the Oscar Robertson Award, unless you prove you can do that throughout a season. So, I mean, it's nice for Oscar. You got me saying Sags now. It's nice for Oscar, but other than that, I mean, it's just day at work.
You got a game coming up here with Duquesne here. What do you want to see out of it? What's you guys?
Well, they're good. They're good, and they're extremely well coached. So I think that's really good for us. And they'll play a lot of different kind of defenses, which is good for us. Some of which we probably won't be prepared for. It's hard to get all that stuff in. But Keith's got a veteran team coming back, and they've added some pieces, I think, that make them really good. They've got really good size, so it'll be good for our bigs to play against size. So we're we're looking forward to it.
You get a lot of information from this game. You got a lot of information from the Penn State game last year, so this is a pretty valuable deal for you, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of the better things that the NCAA's let us do. I don't know why we couldn't have both scrimmages and give the money to charity. It was only a couple of years ago that we were allowed to let anybody in for anything for a charity game, and you know, with everything going on in our country and all the need that we have to help, I mean, I think it's only right that we could help. And you know, on that note, I think people coming and paying their $10 and knowing it's going to go to the Red Cross and flood victims, I think is something we all ought to be excited about doing.
And a good game too. You're going to watch a good game.
It's going to be a really good game. Yeah, I think they were picked 5th, something like that. I don't look at it much, but I think they were picked much higher than I think they've been picked in a long time. So it'll be fun. And Keith's a very dear friend. I mean, I've known Keith since the Akron days. So.
And Duquesne, one of your old favorite teams.
You know, most people let that go by now, John. You know, most people kind of have forgot about that.
None of these guys know.
They don't know. You don't know, do you?
Tell me.
Yeah, no, I just trying to make a point.
Coach, I don't know how much you can say about the other scrimmage, but ideally, how much, you know, you've been doing this for a number of years now, how much do you get out of those? And you know, is it a good take of what you'll expect, you know, later on in the year at all? Is it a sign in that direction?
Well, we had Purdue for 3 straight years,
Right.
and I don't think either team was really ready to play per se. But you get a lot of things on tape that you can, you know, you go in and show them on tape. It makes a more of a impression than it does to stand there and tell them. And so you can clip a lot of things, good and bad, about from that, and I think that's the biggest benefit. I mean, and you can't. That's more, I think, where you can really work on offense, because you come out and run offense. You're playing against your own team.
Right.
You know, I can remember we were doing a pregame thing. We wanted to run a set, and we ran a set against the second team, and they blew it up. And Al McGuire was doing a game, and Al was sitting there, and Al started laughing. And he said, "You're smarter than that." He said, "You know, they knew what they were doing." He said, "I never ran a play against my second team." And there's a lot of, if Al says it, there's a lot of sense to it.
Do you hate that they're called secret scrimmages?
Well, I think why don't we just charge for both of them and give the money to hurricane relief? I mean, what's the difference? I mean, to me, there's not any difference. I mean, what are we hiding? Before we got on the bus last year, the score was already out. Score was out, the leading scorer, and all that stuff, and it didn't come from us. So, I mean, what are we hiding? We're not hiding anything.
You know, the only difference is you're not playing in front of a crowd, which has some impact on the younger guys anyway.
I think it'd be better for them to play in front of a crowd. I think it'd be better all the way around. I mean, what's a better thing? What can make you feel better than giving money to a charity that, I mean, we all turn on the TV and saw the floods. I mean, that's gut-wrenching. I don't know. I think double the money would be better than just money from one game.
Bob, what happens if the details get out?
How do they get out?
What happens if they
They do get out.
yeah, but like, again,
Nothing.
person,
None.
there's no like repercussion.
I've never got a call about how do they get out. I mean, because honestly, I don't have any idea. But, you know, I mean, obviously there's people there keeping score and all that kind of stuff, and I didn't know who they were. I mean, the other team may have furnished those people. I don't know. I didn't know who they were. So,
Just seems so weird to police it.
well, I mean, supposedly in the beginning you weren't even supposed to know who you're playing, right?
Right.
And now we got, you know, we got Jeffy out there, and he has the whole deal. I mean, every scrimmage, he's got it on his Twitter.
You guys schedule those now, though, right? I mean,
Yeah, we schedule.
right.
Yeah.
Just curious.
Are those like, I don't even know if you had to say, like 20-minute halves, 40-minute games? Do you break it down like, hey, let's go half and half? Can you show some 3-2, or can you press us a little bit like that?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say. Am I allowed to say what we do? Am I allowed to say how long we play and all that kind of stuff? No? There you have it.
You can test the other part. Like,
None other than Brian Messer.
I'm just curious, like football scrimmages, let's say, aren't really a scrimmage. They go with the goal and stuff, and red zone stuff. You see someone's passing numbers, like, wow, there's 10 for 1 and 7 touchdowns.
I don't know. So this is just purely a guess on my part, but I would think you could structure them however you want to structure them, in that they're supposed to be secret. I would think. I don't know.
Curious, I know you can't get anything from that Go Blue game, but the new guys did beat the older guys. A little interesting. Did you find that interesting a little bit?
I didn't even pay attention. I mean, honestly, I didn't pay attention. I didn't even. We had kind of a draft, and then the draft wasn't very good, so we kind of switched it around a little bit. But I honestly didn't pay attention.
But the new guys did beat the older guys.
I mean, we could probably line them up today and see if they can do it again. But I don't know. Could have been the coaching. You think? I mean, we had a young guy coaching the young guys, didn't we? No, or did we? Yeah.
I remember a timeout being called.
I'm trying to think. I think we had an older coach coaching the older guys and a younger coach coaching the younger guys. Could have been the coaching.
One last thing on the scrimmages. When you schedule those, is it more relationships with coaches, geography, or are you looking for teams that maybe challenge you in an area where you're deficient or worried about going into a season?
It's all the above. Obviously, you don't want to fly somewhere. So the Purdue deal we did in Columbus, so it was halfway for both teams. That made it convenient. I mean, obviously, I know everybody, so I mean, it's not really relationships. I mean, honestly, it'd be fun to like go scrimmage Frank, but I don't want to bust down there.
You may end up playing them.
Yeah, we could. Very well could.
Who's that? I didn't hear you say.
I'd say it'd be fun to like play Frank or Brad
Oh,
or
yeah,
somebody
yeah.
like that.
Frank still owes you a game, right?
Thanks.
He's what?
Still owes you a game, right?
Yeah.